When you look at the ERP needs of aerospace and defense companies, these are very unique. So, which are the top 10 A&D ERP systems in 2024? That's what we are going to discuss in this video. So, let's dive in. Hello everyone, my name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent ERP and digital transformation consulting firm. We help our clients with digital transformation strategy, ERP selection, ERP implementation, as well as change management. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is going to be top 10 A&D ERP systems in 2024. Just to set the expectations of what is aerospace and defense for us. So we typically include all of the companies that are going to be part of aerospace and defense verticals, which are going to be the OEMs, tier 1, tier 2s, any of the suppliers, manufacturers that might be supplying to these OEMs. You have any of the government consulting companies that are going to be practicing in that, any of the plastic and chemical manufacturers or the suppliers that might be supplying there. So these are very, very, very diverse business models, and they have very unique needs depending upon how many different business models that you are going to require. So most of these solutions are either designed for one or a couple of business processes. Some of them are going to be slightly more generic, but they are not going to have as deep last mile capabilities. So they are going to be slightly more expensive in configuring that. So these are some of the pros and cons of and the design philosophy of different ERP systems that we have in this particular space. Also, to align our expectations on the criteria that we use for this list is going to be product share. If the product does really, really well in the aerospace and defense space, then we typically include that as part of this particular list. We look at reviews. If the reviews are going to come from the A&D industry, then we include them as part of this analysis. We look at the acquisitions. If the acquisitions are done to augment the A&D capabilities for this specific product, then we count that as plus for this particular list. We are looking at everything from the roadmap perspective, from the ecosystem, technology, etc., to compile this list. On that note, let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is IQMS. Last year we had Rootstock at this particular spot. So IQMS, the way the product is designed, it was designed for slightly more plastic-centric manufacturers supplying to A&D, and they are going to have all of those compliance and quality related to capabilities that any of the A&D companies are going to require, just because they all are supplying to A&D, but overall from the manufacturing perspective, from the operations perspective, they are going to have very different processes, very different transactions that they need to support. So this is going to be slightly more focused solution category, specializing in that plastic space for A&D. Now, the other strengths for IQMS are going to be, they are owned by the same company as SolidWorks. So they are going to have far more integration that is going to be owned by SolidWorks as well. So if you're a very heavy engineering organization on SolidWorks, then it might make sense to use IQMS for your organization. The cons for IQMS is overall their technology is not as good. They have not done as much advancement overall from the technology perspective. Their ecosystem as well as the focus is going to be limited, and it's probably not going to be a fit as the corporate ledger for the large companies. So overall, from the alignment perspective, it could be a great solution if you're going to be a pure play plastic manufacturer supplying to A&D. That could be a great place, or it could be a subsidiary solution. For example, let's say if you have very diverse business operations and one of the subsidiary is into that plastic space, which your main ERP is not able to support, in those scenarios, IQMS could be a great fit. So that's number 10. Now, number 9 on our list is Deltech. Last year we had IQMS at this particular spot. So Deltech, when you look at the product, they are really heavy in that government consulting space. They are also strong in the construction-centric processes, which is going to be slightly more project-centric processes. For the most part, when you look at A&D, they all are going to have very large programs, very large projects. That's where Deltech is a great fit. Deltech also has very industry-specific databases, especially if you are going to be really, really strong in that government space and you require your CPQ processes to be flavored with those industry data sets. That's where Deltech is really strong. But if you look at the product is not going to be as complete as some of the other ERPs that we have on the list. So because of that, it is going to require a lot more add-ons for those operational capabilities. For example, CRM, etc. It's not as strong as some of the other solutions that we have on the list. The other strength that you are going to have with Deltech is their multi-entity capabilities. So that's why they are slightly superior for that upper mid-market as well as the lower enterprise space, especially if you're looking for their best of breed capabilities. The cons that you are going to have with Deltech is it's going to be similar to any other focused solution that is going to be your limited focus consulting base. Ecosystem is going to be very limited as well. And again, it's not a complete ERP as complete as some of the other solutions that we have on the list. So that's number 9. Now, number 8 on our list is Rootstock. Last year, we had Infor Cloud Suite Industrial. Rootstock, when you look at the product does really well in the patches where, let's say if you are going to be really strong on Salesforce, and a lot of companies that are going to be slightly more B2B, and they are going to have very engineer to order centric processes, very long sales cycle, that's where Salesforce is really heavily penetrated. So if you are a heavy Salesforce user, for example, let's say if you're an engineer to order shop from the A&D perspective, then Rootstock may make sense for you. The pros for Rootstock is going to be their technology capabilities. They are built on the Salesforce platform. So the mature cloud capabilities, enterprise search, mobility, all of those are going to be very strong. You are going to have native integration with Salesforce. The user experience is going to be seamless as well across all of those Salesforce products, as well as when you look at these project manufacturing centric processes, when you look at WBS centric manufacturing capabilities, that's where Rootstock is going to be really strong. Now, the weaknesses with Rootstock are those finance and accounting capabilities. They are not as detailed as you are going to find with some of the other ERPs that we have on the list. And then they don't necessarily have the quality module that is built. It is going to be provided by another vendor. So obviously you are looking at all of those vendor conflict issues, and their install base is very limited at this point of time. The consulting base is very limited as well. So that's number 8. Now, number 7 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite Industrial. Last year we had Deltech at this particular spot. Infor Cloud Suite Industrial, if you look at the core capabilities of the product, there are 2 or 3 really big strengths that Infor Cloud Suite Industrial product has. Number 1, the way their BOMs are designed, they are designed for slightly more fluidity. And when I say fluidity, what I mean is whether you are going to have the formal engineering processes, whether you are inheriting any of the formal SKUs. For example, in the A&D space, if you are serving any of the OEMs, for the most part, the SKUs and BOMs are going to be very formalized because they are sending you what you need to build. But then if you might have the engineer to order organization where your BOMs are not going to be as formalized, or you are not in a position to formalize them with the revision number, with very streamlined BOMs, then Infor Cloud Suite Industrial could be a great fit because it's not going to mandate as formal engineering processes as some of the other systems. Also, the field service capabilities that Infor Cloud Suite Industrial has, that is slightly more embedded. So when you look at A&D, especially the MRO-centric organizations, they require all of those capabilities because their field services processes are going to be as intertwined. They require the traceability overall from the lot serial number perspective. In the field services space as well, the scheduling is very complex. So that's where Infor Cloud Suite Industrial is really strong. The other strength that you have with Infor Cloud Suite Industrial is the quality processes. And with A&D organization, the quality processes are going to be very intertwined with the operational processes, and the quality module is built as part of the same product. If you are going to keep this in your MES or some other places, then your quality is going to be fragmented in 3 different places. So sometimes consolidating insights from them may be a challenge, and that's where Infor Cloud Suite Industrial keeps everything at one place for all of those quality touch points. It is going to have many different inventory types as well, that it keeps including your quality inventory, so you can manage your quality processes easily as part of the same product. Now, the cons that you are looking at from the Infor Cloud Suite Industrial perspective is it is not a great fit for A&D companies with long-standing large programs that are going to be multi-year, multi-months. It is not really designed for that. It does not have as strong WBS-centric capabilities. The capabilities are not as detailed as you are going to find with some of the other solutions on this list. The other limitations that you have with the Infor CSI product is, let's say if you are an A&D manufacturer, but your distribution processes are going to be as involved as well, then Infor CSI might not be the best fit. The technology is slightly more legacy, as well as the interface is not as modern as some of the other cloud products that we have on the list. So that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Oracle Cloud ERP. This is the same spot Oracle Cloud ERP was last year as well. No changes there. So Oracle Cloud ERP, the overall positioning is going to be, when you are looking at very global product, very diverse product, accommodating many different business models in the A&D space, that's when Oracle Cloud ERP is going to be fit in consolidating all of those databases in one product. For the most part, Oracle Cloud ERP, especially if you are going to use this in the large enterprise space, it is going to be really good fit as the corporate financial ledger. It is not going to have as deep last mile capabilities. So while it can provide all of those foundational layers from the ERP perspective, it is going to be very expensive to build the last mile capabilities. That's where you could explore that 2-tier architecture, where you could use some of the other solutions that we have on this list that are going to be slightly more focused, while using Oracle Cloud ERP as the corporate financial layer. So the other strengths for Oracle Cloud ERP is it is a great fit for publicly traded global companies, large companies, as well as it's a proven solution for large workloads. When you look at the workload of those Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies, when you are going to have millions of journal entries per hour, that's when Oracle Cloud ERP really shines. The ecosystem is fairly well penetrated as well. So those are some of the strengths. Some of the other cons are going to be, it's not really for SMB companies. If you are an SMB company, then you might want to utilize some of the other solutions that we have on the list. So that's number 6. Now, number 5 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. This is again the same spot as last year. So SAP S/4HANA also has very similar positioning as your Oracle Cloud ERP. They are going to be a great fit when you are looking for a global solution for publicly traded companies. It's going to have slightly superior transactional traceability compared to your Oracle Cloud ERP. It is also going to have governance processes for the audit-ready companies. So that's where SAP S/4HANA really shines. It is also slightly better or superior designed for the product-centric companies. That's where they win more than Oracle. So those are going to be some of the differences between SAP and Oracle. So some of the other weaknesses for SAP S/4HANA are going to be very, very similar to your Oracle Cloud ERP, where it is going to be overwhelming for SMB companies. The financial layers that you are going to have, they might be overwhelming for the smaller companies. That could increase your implementation time budget. It might be more expensive than some of the smaller solutions. So that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. This is also at the same spot as Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is a great fit for those upper mid-market companies or lower enterprise companies. It might not be as proven for that large enterprise workload as your SAP and Oracle, but it's a great solution for those upper mid-market companies when they are looking for diverse capabilities for their global entities to be able to host all of these entities in one database. The other smaller solutions are going to be focused on a couple of business processes. The MS Dynamics 365 F&O can support all of your process manufacturing, discrete manufacturing, whether you are looking at the larger programs or the smaller jobs, all of those can be part of the same solution. So some of the other strength that the F&O product has is the ecosystem. So other than having those generic capabilities in accommodating all of those business models, you also have a great marketplace that can provide you the added capabilities that you are going to require. And with the other solutions, the ecosystem, the marketplace is not going to be as strong. So that's where this particular product is going to be really fit for the holding companies or the private equity companies, especially when they are looking to consolidate all of those entities in one solution. So the cons with the MS Dynamics 365 F&O product are going to be that it is not going to be as proven for the large workloads, as well as the pre-integrated capabilities, especially from the industry-specific integration perspective. When you look at the integration of PLM with Microsoft Dynamics, that is something that is not going to be owned and maintained and managed by your OEM. So those could be some of the limitations with the MS Dynamics 365 F&O. So that's number 4. Now, number 3 on our list is IFS. Last year, we had Epicor Kinetic product at this particular spot. So IFS, the way product is designed, it's designed for very complex programs as well as very long-standing programs, especially the companies that are going to be in that field services space. So from the IFS perspective, they are really strong in the enterprise-grade field service or the asset management capabilities. So it could either be a great fit for the upper mid-market or as a best-of-breed subsidiary solution when you are going to be using it with the large enterprises. The other cons that you have with IFS is the ecosystem is going to be limited. The focus is going to be limited. It's not as diverse as your slightly more generic solutions. And it's not going to be right fit for the holding and private equity companies if they are looking to consolidate all of the business models as part of the one product. So that's number 3. Now, number 2 on our list is Epicor Kinetic. Last year, we had IFS at this particular spot. So overall, from the A&D perspective, Epicor Kinetic is slightly more generic product. Overall, when you look at different business models of Epicor Kinetic can accommodate a lot more compared to IFS, and that's why Epicor Kinetic ranks slightly higher than IFS, even though IFS is going to have far deeper best-of-breed capabilities. But when you look at the small to medium-sized businesses, those best-of-breed capabilities might not be as relevant for those companies. The strength that Epicor Kinetic is going to have, especially if you look at their BOM structure, they were really designed for aerospace companies where you are going to have very formal engineering processes, especially very friendly for the metal-centric suppliers. The inventory is very detailed, the way its inventory is designed. And when you are going to be using this as part of your MRP run, or you have very complex processes such as your nesting, that's where Epicor Kinetic really shines. So one of the major advantage of Epicor Kinetic is going to be of the organizations that are going to have very formal manufacturing processes. Now, the disadvantage with Epicor Kinetic is even though they have acquired a field service solution, the field service solution might not be ready as embedded, as immersive as some of the other solutions that have been on that solution for a long time. The other challenges that you are going to run into with Epicor Kinetic is the financial layers are not as detailed as some of the other solutions. So it is a great fit for the SMB companies, but for the larger companies, when you are looking at slightly more upper mid-market companies, that's where Epicor may require a lot of ad hoc arrangements in accommodating those business models. But Epicor Kinetic is going to have all of the challenges that typically focused solutions have, which is going to be your consulting base, the ecosystem, the community, all of those challenges you are going to have. So that's number 2. Now, number 1 on our list is Infor LN. Last year also we had Infor LN at this particular spot. Now, when you look at Infor LN is probably designed for those global companies. It accommodates all of those business models that you are going to have at the global level, whether you are looking at collaboration between different entities, when you are looking at different structure that you need to support for large, complex global companies. That's where Infor LN really shines. A lot of solutions are going to claim, even the smaller ones, that they all have mixed mode manufacturing capabilities, but they are going to be limited either in the WBS centric processes, or they are designed for very specific manufacturing processes. In the case of Infor LN, it can support a lot, including some of those distribution planning. A lot of capabilities are related to distribution as well. So for example, let's say if you are going to be an A&D manufacturer, but you also have commerce as well as distribution as part of your business model, you are not going to require another ERP, or you are not going to run into challenges with Infor LN. It can support all of those capabilities as part of the A&D business model. The other strength that you are looking at from the Infor LN perspective, some of the pre-baked integration that you are going to have. And the majority of the A&D companies are going to be very engineering heavy. So the communication between your PLM and your configurator as well as your ERP matters a lot. Even your communication between your TMS, WMS, WFM, that matter a lot as well. So all of those capabilities are going to be pre-integrated part of the bundle that Infor LN is going to provide. The cons with Infor LN are going to be very similar to any other focus solution, which is going to be limited focus. It's not going to be as diverse. When you are looking at more from the private equity lenses, if you're trying to consolidate, combine all of your portfolio companies in one solution, that's when Infor LN might not be the best fit, but that's number one. If you enjoyed this video, we are also going to include a detailed article. We are going to link that in the description, so check that out. Also, if you like this video, we publish these on a weekly basis, so like and subscribe our YouTube channel. This is also available in the audio form on Google, Spotify, Apple, so you might want to check there and subscribe. Also, if you have not checked our digital transformation report for 2024, we are going to link that as well. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.